In this video, you're going to get a brief overview of the co-op program in the College of Engineering and Applied Science. So let's start with the basics. What is co-op? I'm going to pull up the definition, the official definition from the UC website. You can take a moment to read that, and I'm going to pull out what I think are kind of most important from this definition here. So first, you're going to alternate your academic semesters with semesters spent working full-time. So once you are in a college, you're going to set a timeline with your advisor, and from there, you're going to start every semester going from taking classes to being out working full-time on the job to back in classes until you graduate. These are paid experience. If you want to see the average hourly rate for each of our majors, you can follow the link on the Canvas page. The other thing I really want to pull out is these are on-the-job experiences out in the real world. These allow you to apply what you are learning in the classroom to what you are doing on the job and vice versa. More importantly, when you graduate and you start looking for a full-time position, if you don't get hired by one of your co-op companies, something you are going to have that students of other universities will not, even students in other programs at UC will not, is up to 5 semesters of full-time experience in your discipline, which is going to make you a very, very competitive applicant for whatever it is that you want to do. So let's talk about when a typical CEAS student will co-op. Now, this is a hypothetical. We are looking at how the curriculum is built. This does not necessarily mean this is going to be your path. I just want you to have an understanding of kind of how it functions within our curriculum so you know what to expect. So each of our majors are designed so that you will be able to co-op a total of 5 semesters beginning the second year in the 5-year curriculum. So what do we want to pay attention to? Up to 5 co-op rotations, so 5 semesters spent working full-time. It also means that you can spend up to 5 years in our college once you are accepted to work your way through our 5-year curriculum. Let's look at a sample student so you get a better understanding so you can visualize what I am talking about. So a student who comes into our college, this one's a computer engineer, they're going to take classes their fall and spring semester of their first year, and that first summer they're actually going to have off. So this is the first and only summer where our students would not have classes. Heading into their second year, this particular student is taking classes in the fall and then going out on their first co-op rotation in that next spring semester. From there, you can see that alternating pattern that I referenced earlier: summer classes, fall co-op, spring classes, summer co-op. And you can see when we get down here to the end, this particular student would have 2 back-to-back co-ops before 2 back-to-back semesters, and then they would graduate in spring 2024. So again, this is a sample student, so you just have an idea of how this is going to work. Okay. Where do CEAS students co-op? You can get a glimpse here at some of the really cool companies that you might have the opportunity to work for depending on your selected discipline. And then there is actually a full list of the top 10 companies for each major on our Canvas page if you want to explore those, see what they do, and just learn more about what kind of opportunities might be available to you as a CEAS student. I also want to make sure you know that we offer an international co-op program, ICP for short. Students typically in those last 2 semesters, those back-to-back semesters, have the opportunity to travel to countries where Germany or Japanese is the primary language. You can see some example employers there. And if you want to get a better sense of what this I recommend heading over to the CEAS Instagram page. It is UC_CEAS, and you can watch some of our student stories who have taken over the Instagram to tell you a little bit about what it is like to travel internationally as part of your undergraduate experience in our college. When should you expect a co-op? When should our change of major and transition students expect a co-op? The most important thing that I want you to know is that your timeline to co-op and graduation are officially determined after you're accepted to a major. So we can talk about whether or not you're on track with the curriculum, we can estimate, but that timeline won't be official until you are in the major and you have connected with your new CEAS advisor. At that time, you'll also be connected with your co-op advisor. This is another advisor who you will have to support you as you look for positions, reflect on your learnings, and think about what you want to do with your career during your time in CEAS. Something to keep in mind as we're thinking about that typical student, our CEAS students must be caught up on the first year curriculum before they are certified to search for a co-op. We don't need to really delve into what certification means, what it looks like to search for a co-op. What I want you to pay attention to is that the expectation is before you're going to go out and start working, you are expected to be caught up on the curriculum and spend at least one academic semester in the College of Engineering and Applied Science. You will have the opportunity to learn about co-op either now or within the next couple of semesters, including how to set up your resume, what it looks like to search for a co-op, in our PB 1011 Introduction to Co-op course. So don't worry, you are going to have a ton of support when the time comes. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about careers in engineering. See you later.